Welcome back, Wealth Tubers. As America gears up for a pivotal election on November 5th, all eyes are on the candidates. What started as a rematch of the 2020 race took a dramatic turn when President Biden stepped aside, leaving Vice President Kamala Harris to carry the torch. Can Harris maintain her lead, or is Trump poised for a comeback? In this video, we'll dive into the latest polling data, analyze key battleground states, and discuss the implications for both candidates as they vie for the presidency. Join us as we unpack the numbers, trends. Voters in the U.S. go to the polls on November 5th to elect their next president. The big question now is, will America get its first woman president or a second Donald Trump term? As Election Day approaches, we'll be keeping track of the polls and seeing what effect the campaign has on the race for the White House.
Who is leading in national polls?
Harris has maintained a small but significant lead over Trump in the national polling averages since she officially entered the race at the end of July, and as we analyze the current landscape, she continues to hold this advantage. Now, let's take a closer look at the latest figures, which have been rounded to the nearest whole number for clarity. Harris experienced a notable bounce in her polling numbers, quickly establishing herself as a formidable candidate. By the end of August, she had built a lead of nearly 4 percentage points over Trump, a development that underscored her ability to resonate with voters early on. This momentum was largely attributed to her strategic messaging and effective engagement with key demographics. As we moved into September, the numbers remained relatively stable, indicating that Harris had successfully solidified her support base. This trend persisted even after the only debate between the two candidates on September 10th, which drew an impressive audience of nearly 70 million viewers. The debate was a critical moment in the campaign, allowing both candidates to present their visions for the future. Harris's performance helped reinforce her position in the polls, showcasing her capability to engage with Trump on significant issues while appealing to undecided voters. In the last few days, the gap between them has tightened, with the trend lines showing the averages and the dots showing the individual poll results for each candidate. While these national polls are a useful guide as to how popular a candidate is across the country as a whole, they're not necessarily an accurate way to predict the result of the election. That's because the U.S. uses an electoral college system in which each state is given a number of votes roughly in line with the size of its population. A total of 538 electoral college votes are up for grabs, so a candidate needs to hit 270 to win. There are 50 states in the U.S., but because most of them nearly always vote for the same party, in reality there are just a handful where both candidates stand a chance of winning. These are the places where the election will be won and lost, and are known as battleground states or swing states.
Who is winning in swing state polls?
The polling landscape is extremely competitive in the 7 states identified as battlegrounds for this election. These states are pivotal, as neither candidate has established a decisive lead in any of them, according to the latest polling averages. This tight race highlights the uncertainty and volatility characteristic of a close election cycle. When we examine the trends that have emerged since Harris entered the race, we can observe some notable differences among these states. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that there are significantly fewer state polls available compared to national polls. This limited data means that we have less comprehensive information to inform our understanding of voter sentiment in these battlegrounds. Furthermore, every poll carries a margin of error, which implies that the reported numbers could fluctuate higher or lower, depending on various factors influencing voter behavior. In states like Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, and North Carolina, the dynamics have shifted repeatedly since the beginning of August. Polls indicate that the lead has changed hands several times among the candidates during this period. However, as of now, Trump holds a slight edge in all of these states. This ongoing fluctuation underscores the importance of these battlegrounds, as they are crucial to each candidate's strategy for securing the necessary electoral votes needed to win the presidency. In the 3 other states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, Harris had led since the start of August, sometimes by 2 or 3 points. But in recent days, the polls have tightened significantly and Trump now has a very small lead in Pennsylvania. All 3 of those states had been Democratic strongholds before Trump turned them red on his path to winning the presidency in 2016. Biden retook them in 2020, and if Harris can do the same, then she will be on course to win the election, in a sign of how the race has changed since Harris became the Democratic nominee. On the day that Biden quit the race, he was trailing Trump by nearly 5 percentage points on average in the 7 swing states. In Pennsylvania, Biden was behind by nearly 4.5 percentage points when he dropped out. It is a key state for both campaigns as it has the highest number of electoral votes of the 7, and therefore winning it makes it easier to reach the 270 votes needed.
How are these averages created?
The graphs used in this video are based on carefully calculated averages from a reputable polling analysis source, recognized for its in-depth analytical framework and expertise in election-related data. This source aggregates data from a wide array of individual polls conducted across the country, offering insights that capture both broad national trends and specific data from key battleground states. By blending these data points into comprehensive averages, the analysis provides a more nuanced and reliable understanding of voter preferences and shifts in public sentiment leading up to the election. This method ensures that the data reflects a balanced perspective, giving us valuable insights into how public opinion is evolving over time in response to various campaign events and policy discussions. The organization only incorporates polls from companies that adhere to specific criteria designed to ensure accuracy and reliability. This means that participating polling firms must be transparent about several key aspects of their polling practices, including the size of their sample populations, the timing of when the poll was conducted, and the methods employed for gathering responses, such as telephone calls, text messages, and online surveys. By maintaining these high standards, it strives to provide a more trustworthy and representative snapshot of the electoral landscape, which is essential for voters and analysts alike as they navigate the complexities of the election season.
Can we trust the polls?
At the moment, the polls suggest that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are within a couple of percentage points of each other in all of the swing states. And when the race is that close, it's very hard to predict winners. Polls underestimated support for Trump in both 2016 and 2020. Polling companies will be trying to fix that problem in a number of ways, including how to make their results reflect the makeup of the voting population. Those adjustments are difficult to get right, and pollsters still have to make educated guesses about other factors like who will actually turn up to vote on November 5th. In conclusion, the upcoming election is shaping up to be a pivotal moment in American history. As we approach November 5th, the dynamics between Harris and Trump are intensifying, with both candidates vying for crucial votes in battleground states. The national polling averages offer insights, but the Electoral College system adds layers of complexity to the predictions. As voters prepare to make their voices heard, it's essential to stay informed about the trends and key issues at play. Will Harris make history as the first female president, or will Trump secure a second term? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the stakes are incredibly high, and every vote counts. Thanks for watching, WealthTubers. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates, and we'll see you next time.